We've heard it over the past year with Karens, but Jen is a totally different breed of white girl.
Yes.
Like everybody knows a Jen, right?
Yeah, Jen is super awesome. Just add alcohol. There's usually a t-shirt that comes up. There's usually a woo involved at some point in the night. She's probably gonna make out with her best friend that she fucking hates. Like it's it's a whole thing.
And just the word Jen, it plays out that script in everybody's head. Everybody's picturing those things.
Yeah, for sure.
And you just say one sentence, and it's a total reaction.
Yeah,
from the audience.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's so
Absolutely.
fun. Turning that fear into comedy, though, that's like a skill that I feel like everybody should have, beyond being a comic, too. Like being able to find the funny in your fears. Have you, was there a moment before you became a comic where you where you leaned into kind of the things that you were scared of?
I mean, I guess always, the fact that I started stand-up in general, that was really scary. I don't get any other questions. It's why are you scared? What are you so afraid of, bitch? No, I'm kidding.
Lean into it.
Right. Face your fears. Touch this fire.
Yeah, I think you guys invented a new circle of hell. Listening to your stand-up comedy in a room of people, where you're killing and the room you're playing it in is not killing. Listening to people go, oh, that's kind of...
Yeah. It's not
Listen, this is our first time.
It's like leftovers.
Yeah.
When you put the leftovers in the microwave, it's just not the same because it's twice cooked. And
I like leftovers, though. This is worse than leftovers.
Yeah,
you were in the back and you were very egotistically no, don't
This is
play.
like leftover French fries. This is what uneatable again.
Oh, yeah.
It's just soft, weird, wet potatoes now.
You can't laugh at that.
We have our very first live recorded episode at the 6th City Comedy Festival from Cleveland, Ohio. We feature 3 hilarious comedians rather than just having one guest and talking to them for 90 minutes to 2 hours. We're bringing 3 guests and talking to them for 1 hour total between the 3 of them. And those 3 comics and those 3 topics that we prove you can laugh at are White Women featuring Franqi French from Washington, D.C., One-Liners featuring Alex Avery from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Being Bi-Curious featuring Connor Meade from Detroit, Michigan. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of You Can't Laugh at That, featuring me, David Horning, and my co-hosts Steve Mers and Jeremy Demery.
You can't laugh at that.
Welcome to You Can't Laugh at That.
Thank you.
This is the podcast where we take topics that aren't funny and then we prove that they are funny by bringing on comedians who have done just that. And today is a special event because we are here live at the 6th City Comedy Festival, the inaugural 6th City Comedy Festival at 6th City Sailors Club off East 6th Street. And we are hosting our very first live episode in front of the throngs, the multitude of millions and millions of our fans.
All the daytime comedy show goers.
It's great. There's a skylight in here, so you get that natural lighting so everybody can see when everybody's laughing. That's ideal for comedy. And
Yes.
I'm just happy to be here. I feel like we're in a hotel lobby right now. It's just like ruining somebody's continental breakfast. Today, I'm excited. We have 3 guests. This is the first time we've done multiple guests in one episode.
Multiple guests half the time.
Yeah, exactly. We're just squeezing it in a short episode. Our first guest today is Franqi French, and Marla gave me a list of some of the comics to reach out to be on this episode, and she was at the top of the list, and so I watched her video, and I was like, oh, this is going to be super fun. So we are going to talk about white women. 2 white men talking about white women. Jeremy, let's play the clip and go from there.
She gets it from her godmother. My best friend is this white girl named Jennifer Beaver. We'll unpack that later. But but I love Jen, though. I love Jen because on any random Tuesday night at 11:30 at night, I can get this phone call from Jen. Hello? Bitch! What the fuck are you doing right now? Nothing, Jen. It's 11:30 on a Tuesday. I was going to smoke this weed, drink some kombucha, and go to bed. Fuck shit, bitch. We are going out, and we're gonna get white girl wasted. What? I gotta get black girl up for work tomorrow, so that's a hard pass. Plus, I'm kind of broke. Then she says the 3 magic words. It's on me. I'm like, bitch, I'm already at the bar. I'm like 5 shots in. How do you spell Beaver? Is it Beebea so I can start your tab for us? How are you? And I love Jen because when she shows up, she's already been pre-gaming. You know those Jens, right? Already pre-gaming, doesn't give a shit no matter how packed it is. All she cares about is getting from the front door to the bar for more shots, and she comes in like gangbusters. Poof. Pardon me, excuse me, pardon me. Don't fucking touch me. Excuse me. Bartender. Finally, thank you. I'm gonna need a sex on the beach, a sex on my face, a redheaded slut, and 5 black guys to disappoint my dad at table 9. If I could get that over at table 9. I don't even care about the drink order. I'm like, bitch, how do you know the table number's in here? Like, what are you doing with your Tuesday nights? But when it's time to go, she's gonna take one for the team. She's like, Franqi. Shh. Why do drunk people shush you when you're not saying shit? I'm like, land your plane, Jen. What do you need? I'm gonna drive. Better you than me. Let's do this, right? When we get in the car, we're not doing well, but we're making it. And we're like 2 blocks from the house. I'm like, we made it. And I hear bloop, bloop. And I'm like, son of a bitch. And Jen starts answering questions the cop hasn't asked yet. And she's like, Franqi, shh. I'm like, bitch, the police are involved. I'm not gonna say anything, okay? Matter of fact, I'm gonna unclick my seatbelt, slide down into the footwell and blend into the darkness and hope he doesn't even know I'm in the car during your traffic stop. Cops at the window, Jen's like, Your Honor, you pulled me over because I was swerving while I was driving. And then she gives him the most Caucasian reason for the swerving that I've ever heard in my life. I was swerving because she was tickling me. What, bitch? What? Now the cop forgets about Jen. He walks around the car to the passenger side where I am not driving at all, and he taps on the glass, and I roll the window down. That bright-ass cop light comes on in my face. And you never know how black you are until you have a bright-ass cop light shining in your black-ass face. Like, for real, I thought I was like kind of light-skinned when I got in the car. As soon as that light hit my face, I was like, there is so much a man can tell you, so much he can say. You've remained my power, my pleasure, my pain. The cop was pissed. He did not appreciate the vocal stylings of Franqi French. And he leaned in the window so close, I could smell the systemic racism on his breath. And he looked me in the eye and he said one word. You know what he said? He looked at me, ma'am, and he said, baby. All right, you guys, I've been Franqi French.
All right, please welcome to the stage that voice that you just heard, coming from Washington, D.C., the very funny Franqi French.
Go right ahead.
Brought your own mic, too. I've taken all the precautions. Hell yeah.
I've been traveling a lot, so it's more so to protect people from me.
But it also introduces people to you, like the minute you get on stage.
Oh, exactly. I mean, I'm better than everyone else, clearly. So, you want this?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's better to show it rather than tell it first, and then
tell it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that bit. First of all, it's at the end of your set, so I mean, it's your closer.
It's a closer.
Yeah.
That's not my closer.
So you used it at the end of the stand-up NBC special. How long have you been doing that bit? Like, when did that start?
That's a good question. Probably like 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 5 years old. I wanted to show, because that was an industry showcase. So literally every single person in the audience was industry, which was nerve-wracking and uncomfortable because they don't laugh. But I had a really great set and they laughed a lot. And I wanted to showcase my ability to sing. So that's why I used that particular bit to close.
Yeah, it's a good one. Every white person loves Kiss by a Rose or Kiss from a Rose. So you talk about your best friend, Jennifer Beaver, which
is
the
a
name,
real person.
Yeah. I knew a Brianna Beaver. And,
oh wow.
Yeah, so
Hilarious.
I've heard that. I was like, I wonder if they're related.
I don't know. Does
Probably.
your Brianna have
Probably
ties
not.
to D.C., Maryland, Virginia?
No, she has ties to Wyoming and California. So no.
Well, all white people have ties to Wyoming and California, right? So
Right. Yeah. It's like all white people know each other. Anyway, so.
And all black people look the same. No, I'm kidding.
All right. So, first of all, about you, how long have you been doing comedy?
7 years.
7 years. What made you take the jump?
I didn't really take the job. The job kind of took me, but my sister asked me to take a stand-up comedy class with her. And so I paid my $250. She did not. And then I got stuck with this class that I didn't want to take. And so I did it. And then I realized that I really enjoyed it. And so I just kept doing it.
Okay, you got the first laugh and you were like, okay, this is a thing.
Yeah, now I can't not do. I'm about to take a week off. When I leave here, I got to go to New York for a day. And then after that, I'm taking a week and a half off, and it took everything in my being not to send avails today. So, and I'm like jittery already just thinking about taking time off, so.
We're gluttons for punishment in that.
It's so disgusting. I cried the other day because of how much I love comedy. Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Anybody else
disgusting.
ever?
What a creep. I am, not you guys. Well, you guys are probably creepy too, but I was talking about myself.
Chances are good. Yeah. So that bit itself, where did it come from? Like, what made you?
It's a true story.
Okay.
So, sans the singing, but it's a true story. So I just tell it in a funny way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it all happen in one setting, or was it like
Yeah, no, this is one evening gone awry. And I thought it'd make good fodder for an audience, and it did.
Were you just like in your notes app the whole time? Like,
I don't write jokes. Like, I've never written a joke down on anything. So I come up with premises and I work it out on stage, and then I just lock it in once I like it and remember it.
Okay, so you don't like write anything down at all?
Never in my life.
I overwrite.
It's not a good practice. I wish I did write.
Right.
Anytime I sit down to write, I can't. I just don't have it in me. I have to be driving or doing something and think of something, go, oh, cool, I'll try that later. And then, just kind of massage it and work it through until it becomes a thing. But typically, all of my jokes are based on my life. So, I just remember a story and I'm like, oh, that could be a funny story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a great character. First of all, this is Jennifer.
She's a psycho. She shot her boyfriend out in my parking lot one night.
She shot him?
Yeah.
Oh.
at 3 in the morning.
Classic white woman behavior.
I don't even remember what he did. I just remember Eric running into my house. She shot me. I was like, oh, no. And sure as shit, yeah, she shot him.
It was a 22.
I don't remember what she shot him.
She wanted him dead.
Yeah, probably a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. She was a fucking psycho, but super fun to hang out with.
Are you guys still
Your
home?
type?
Are you guys?
Interest in fireworks, that's it.
Yeah?
So I figured we got something there.
She checks that box,
That's
right?
hilarious.
That's not a red flag. That's actually something I'm looking for as a prerequisite to this. Are you still homies with her?
I'm not friends with any normal people. Well, she's not normal, but I'm not friends with any non-comics really anymore.
Okay. All right.
Because the only thing I do is comedy. I'm never coming to your baby shower. I'm never gonna come to your wedding. I don't give a fuck that your mom died. I'm not a good person.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right,
Yeah, so I don't have any friends.
I'll send a care emoji on Facebook.
Oh, don't. I don't care. I'm dead inside, so it's fine.
There should be a don't care react on Facebook.
There should 100% be a don't care react. I would use it all the time. Don't care, dislike, don't care, fuck that bitch. There needs to be one of those two.
Yeah, for sure. It saves time. It's just a middle finger. That's amazing. So this character, you know, she calls you 11:30 on a Tuesday night. That already says so much about her as a person without going into detail.
Absolutely.
And you do that a few times in this set too. I mean, white girl wasted, black girl up for work. That says so much about both of your characters. Yeah. I love doing that, like, opposite, that flip-flop. Like, here's a punchline, but also, like, here's the opposite of that. That's the same thing.
Black Girl Up for Work is super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I say that, the room typically explodes.
Yeah.
It's just, it's really fun.
Yeah, that's where I was like, okay, I'm telling Marla she's on the podcast.
Because, I mean, it's a statement of, like, I don't have the privilege to go out at 11:30 at night. I got to go to fucking work tomorrow.
Right.
You know, you suck. You're fucking some old dude. Like, you're fine.
What everybody else was missing, too, in that joke was the act out of Jen walking in the bar, like, kicking down the door. And
And that was, like, she was a hot mess. Because she's always pre-gaming. No matter what's happening, there's always a tailgate, you know what I mean, happening. And she doesn't give a fuck about anybody else's existence. Like, she's just, like, gangbusters all the time, you know?
She knows the table numbers.
She shot her boyfriend in my parking lot. I feel like I said that.
Yeah. Just to reiterate, there was an attempted murder, by Jen Beaver. Did she go to jail for it?
No. He came up with a cover story. We took him to the hospital, and she fled the scene. So.
So
she's fine.
You also mentioned too at one point in the bit, you know those Jens, right? Like, we've heard it over the past year with Karens, but Jen is a totally different breed of white girl.
Yes.
Like, everybody knows a Jen, right?
Yeah, Jen is super awesome. Just add alcohol. There's usually a T-shirt that comes up. There's usually a woo involved at some point in the night. She's probably gonna make out with her best friend that she fucking hates. Like, it's a whole thing.
And just the word Jen, like, it plays out that script in everybody's head. Everybody's picturing those things.
Yeah, for sure.
And you just say one sentence, and it's a total reaction.
Yeah,
from the audience.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's so
Absolutely.
fun. I wish, like, I could do that with every single thing that I ever wrote. Like, that's such a good skill to have. That mental picture. One more. Has that bit bombed before?
No.
Mm-mm. I can't imagine.
Yeah, it's never bombed.
Yeah,
I've never bombed. I'm kidding. I bombed my dick off. I bombed so hard once. I wanted security to walk me to my car because I thought the audience would beat the shit out of me. Like, that's how hard I bombed.
Can anyone else relate to that? Yeah. If you're not raising your hand, you're lying.
Did you say that was a shit audience, though, too? Because if they didn't.
No, they were right. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I was fucking terrible. This was very early in my comedy career. Like, so I did it for like 6 months, and then I realized how much of a time suck it was. And I have a husband and a daughter, gross, but I do. And I realized I was like spending like a lot of time away from them. So I quit. And then I wanted to kill everyone, so I wasn't doing anything creative. And my husband was like, please get the fuck out of the house and go do comedy. And then that was probably like a year later. So I like took like a year off. And then when I came back, I bombed my dick off.
Hell yeah. I think we all did.
I've bombed so many times they call me the U.S. Navy.
Yeah, getting back into it, that's rough, especially after taking a little bit of time off.
I didn't have difficulty coming out of COVID, though.
No?
That was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, weirdly.
Yeah.
My first hour, though, was rough. That was rough. Yeah.
How did that play out?
Well, I mean, it was fine. It was serviceable, but I did I like to, like, if I have a competition, I'll never bring people to it. I want to, like, put myself in the hardest situation possible.
Right.
If I have an audition, I always do new material because I'm a fucking psychopath. Because I want to see how good I am, you know what I mean? Like, am I good enough?
Yeah.
And so I did like 30 minutes of new material that I had never tested. And it was serviceable, but you know, it was clunky because I didn't know where the jokes and stuff were, but it was fine. This one guy loved it too much and was trying to fuck me after, but yikes, that dude was a creep show. And he had a white panel van that he kept driving up and down the parking lot after the show was over.
Of course he did.
Yeah, right? Of course that fucking guy did. He was a white dude named Josh.
Of course.
100%. Totally would have ate my butt and then put the rest of me in a freezer for later, but whatevs.
Oh my God, yeah.
My brother's name's Josh.
That's it.
It was probably my brother. Bless your heart.
100% was your brother.
Checking all the boxes.
Sounds like a Jeff, if you know what I mean. A Jeffrey, if that helps.
Yeah. Spell it out.
Did you have a question?
No, I just wanted to do a Jeffrey Dahmer joke.
That was pretty good. My mom met Jeffrey Dahmer's parents right after he got arrested.
How did that happen?
She worked for United Airlines, and she was in the airport, and they were traveling to his court date.
Yeah.
And she was just so happened to be sitting next to them, and they started talking, and people, for whatever reason, would tell my mom anything.
Yeah.
And they basically got to a point where they were just like, yeah, our son's Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh my God.
That's
So
the
they were
ultimate-
going to support him in court?
Dude, look, I don't know. All I know is that she sat next to his parents, or parents, whoever it was. There was someone, an adult parental figure related to him. Yeah. Creepy.
Did they bring snacks to support him?
Yeah, black dicks. It was weird. Just a tub of them. And feet, weirdly. Just the left ones.
What they don't tell you about Jeffrey Dahmer is he actually threw the best barbecues in the city. So yeah, that going.
Jeremy, turn off your mic right now.
Yeah. Tastes just like pork. All right.
Oh, no.
So, any advice, tips, pointers for any comics who's working on a bit?
Right now, fucking quit. Drop everything, run for the fucking hills, quit. No, I'm kidding. What was the question?
The question, well, actually, that was it. So if you want them to quit, what would you tell? No. The question is, if they're working on a bit about like white women or a white woman and kind of playing on some of those stereotypes, what sort of pointers would you give them?
Don't. I have the best joke out there, so why would you waste your time doing that? Pick a different topic. That's the advice.
Pick a different career, let's be honest.
I don't know. I mean, talk about, look, here's the thing. Talk about whatever you want to talk about. Be funny, though. Don't say stupid shit just to be racist. Don't say dumb shit just to be sexist. But talk about all the shit. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Everything's on the table. I have a joke about my mom dying of AIDS. It's hilarious. You know? But, so I say that to say, seriously, talk about everything, but again, be funny. You know what I mean? Like, be poignant, have something to say. Don't just talk shit to piss people off. That's just obnoxious and irritating, and no one wants to hear it.
You know what I love doing, though? I love being really funny and then also pissing everybody off at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm working, my new hour is actually dismantling the Me Too movement, which is going to make me super popular with women. But but I don't give a fuck because it's funny and it's true, so. Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, I can see reasons why you would want to do that. It's like, I've seen people make, I shouldn't say that without explaining it, so I'm just going to leave it alone.
Nope, leave it right there. Fuck that.
Turn off your mic,
Leave it
Steven.
right fucking there.
Yeah.
To be continued.
No, never continue it. Never explain.
I'm just awful, so just leave it at that.
All right. Steve's awful. Franqie's awesome. Franqui, where can we find you on social media?
Everywhere at Franqi French. Franqui know you. French. French.
All right. Give her a follow on social media. Check out all of her videos, and we'll be on the lookout for your hour.
Thank you so much, you guys. Have been
Franqi French.
fantastic.
Thank you, Franqui.
I appreciate you so much.
Make some noise.
Let me plug your mic back in for you.
Yeah, for sure. That's why we brought you on. We're like, we need more diva cunts in our episode. Thank you.
Absolutely.
One more time for Franqui, everybody.
Keep it going for her. Thanks for being here,
You know
everybody.
what?
Yeah.
I liked her.
Yeah.
She was nice.
She's right there.
That's why I'm saying.
Okay. All right. Our next comic, we're going to play a clip from Helium Comedy Club. He is, his name is Alex Avery. He's based out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And let's listen to this set. It's a good intro, David. Well played.
Way to go, Dave.
Yeah. Just really let that one simmer.
Got my wisdom teeth taken out, and they didn't put me under all the way, so I had this bite reflex. Did you guys know that the human jaw has the full capacity to bite through a grown man's finger? Yeah, so imagine what it did to my dentist's penis. Now he had to go see a real doctor. It was... Every time I tell that joke, I can still taste it. Yeah. That joke is only half true. I got my wisdom teeth taken out, but I don't know if he was a dentist. He just threw me out of a moving van, and I was like, that's some good anesthesia, and then walked home, because I'll do anything for free drugs. The other night in a parking lot, some guy was like, you remind me a lot of Ted Bundy. Very interesting choice of last words. You guys laughed. He did not. Murdered the shit out of him. It was crazy, right? Like, some people think the worst thing to leave at a crime scene is fingerprints. I think the worst thing to leave is a witness. And there were a lot in that parking lot. Had my work cut out for me, you know? Like, the jogger who ran by and out loud was like, my body is a temple. And I was like, yeah, because no one's going to find it for years. Not cool with the murder jokes? All right, well, you know, there's some HR people in here. Don't talk to me after the show. I don't work for you. You guys ever take a genealogy or DNA test or anything like that? Ever taken a DNA genealogy test? No? I've never taken one either, but my son did, and he said I need to stop calling him that. My stepdad's hospital bills have been getting more and more expensive ever since the local gym started teaching women self-defense. You guys are looking at me like, Alex, are you making fun of victims? I'm like, yeah, if you consider my stepdad a victim. And the other half of the audience is like, well, what was she wearing? And I'm like, I don't know, steel-toed boots? I don't know, women like that one.
All right, that's a good joke to close on. Let's give it up for Alex Avery, everybody. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for coming. This is
Thank you guys.
the
Absolutely.
2016 Acme Comedy Club's funniest.
Oh, I hate you. I hate that. What if I just came up here with a bronze microphone? I was like, that would be so cool, right? It'd be like, I feel like a third placer in this lineup. I feel like, okay. Well, yeah, I think you guys invented a new circle of hell.
Yeah.
Listening to your stand-up comedy in a room of people, like where you're killing and the room you're playing it in is not killing. Listening to people go, oh, that's kind of,
Yeah, it's not a...
This is our first time.
It's like leftovers.
yeah.
When you put the leftovers in the microwave, it's just not the same because it's twice cooked. And
I
it's
like
not-
leftovers, though. This is worse than leftovers.
Yeah,
You were in
This
the
is like-
back and you were like very
this is-
egotistically like, no, don't
This is
play.
like leftover French fries. This is what uneatable again.
Oh, yeah.
It's just soft, weird, wet potatoes now.
And then explaining it to somebody what they tasted like. Like, that's what this is.
I feel like, do you guys feel like old French fries taste like packing peanuts, or is that just because I've eaten packing peanuts?
Raise your hand if old French fries taste like packing peanuts.
All right.
All right, now,
No, everybody disagrees with that thought.
how many packing peanuts have you eaten?
2.
That's enough.
Yeah, it is. It is. And
One's
you're like,
enough.
oh, this does not taste like French fries. It tastes like bad French fries. That's a...
But I just want to make
One
sure.
more just to be sure, yeah.
All All right, let's talk about one-liners. You're a one-liner comic.
I'm not.
You're not?
Not
Your
even-
set was.
It was.
Yeah.
It used to be. That's the
Okay.
thing. All right. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I wrote on my notebook, hey, let them ask you questions.
You're doing a great job.
I
Should
need
have wrote on there,
reminders.
don't disagree with the hosts.
I was like, what are you doing?
That's what our podcast is called, is David and Steve are right.
That's a good.
So
Okay.
take us through that. So you're not a one-liner
Okay.
comic, but you utilize them really well.
Okay, well, I disagree with myself. Okay. I started out as a strict one-liner comedian because I was a child. And then I was like, oh, my humor is evolving, but I still like doing this type of... So, Jim Gaffigan, he's a one-liner guy, but people don't think of him as a one-liner guy because he does full bits about the thing.
I'm the same way. I do bits, but they're all made of one-liners.
Yeah, I think, that's the smartest, the way that I've seen really good comics that are writing heavy build their material because they're like, I'm going to put all these jokes, so it's like joke, tag, but then similar joke on a similar thing, tag, similar joke on a similar thing, tag, and it's all becomes like, you blend it together and then there's act outs and stuff. So I don't know, I've just been letting myself get sillier.
You have to. You can't stagger the content, so it's just how it's going to be,
Yeah.
You got to follow that thread. Do you think that comes with more time doing comedy? You just kind of naturally evolve away from one-liners?
Well, I would like to get booked more.
You hear that?
I would like to do better at life, and I don't know. It's not that because at this I started out as such a purist, and then I was like, oh, you know what? There's so many different. I'm only 22. What the hell do I know? Then, and I'm 25 now, and I'm like, I know less. I know much less now. Is that relatable to people? Sorry, I'm not that killer at interviews. Sorry that I write all my thoughts down. Oh, this guy isn't. Oh, clap, entertain us. Okay.
He's like, I was a child at 22. Now I'm 25.
And I'm so yes. It really does. I'm like Picasso. I'm getting younger.
When you say that, do you mean like I'm now aware of the fact that I don't know anything and I feel younger because of that?
No, I feel stupider because I'm getting older. I feel stupid. But I've accepted that I'm stupid. Like that's the truth. Is like when you're young, you're arrogant and you think you know everything, and then true peace of mind is accepting I am dumb. And just the static noise plays in your head, and it feels good. It's buzzy, and I don't know. Yeah, ask me another question because I'm not.
I was just gonna say, did you carry yourself like that on stage? So when you first started, you had all the answers, and that you carry with that just kind of a nonverbal air of arrogance, kind of. Do you think that's why some of the stuff didn't work out?
Well, I think it's because I was a hack.
Yeah.
I think it's because I was trying to be like Anthony Jeselnik, and I was like, gotta do the, the neck roll that he does. Oh, dude, I love Anthony, but his newest special frustrated me because he kept on doing this thing. Did you guys see it? Yeah. Where he'd and then close his jacket. It was very weird how he'd do punchlines where he'd be all like, and my mom died. And then closes. It was very I was like, I like you, but what are you doing? I don't know. But yeah, that's me criticizing a guy with an incredible career. So what am I doing? What am I doing? All right.
I'm not a fan of tells though, where it's just if you're funny, they'll laugh. If you have to be like, that was the funny part.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle does the thing with his thing, and it's not. Once again, it's not that he's bad. He's a great comic, but it's like, what is it? The punchline indicator? I don't know.
I think there's a mix. Sometimes it's like they're already laughing, but then he does that for emphasis. So it's like,
yeah, what the hell? Why am I talking about comedians that are way better than me?
I'm not an authority on comedy.
I don't know.
So
what am I doing here?
I have opinions.
Yeah, and there's stupid ones.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, for both of us. It's all stupid opinions. In my
That's
opinion, it's
comedy.
stupid.
Define stand-up comedy. Stupid opinions. There we go.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah, I like getting upset about things that don't matter.
Yeah.
Just, yeah. That's it.
Who are your influences? Who,
Well, okay. This is important because I listened to the Sarah Talamachi, Joe List wife.
Talamaki. No. Yeah.
And I was listening to the episode, and I like her. She's great. And okay, you brought up that Norm Macdonald movie.
Did I?
Yeah, you talked about what's that one called where he has the tape recorder?
Dirty Work?
Dirty Work. I haven't seen
you mean
it
on
yet.
the podcast?
Yeah, on
I
the
was like, what are you
podcast.
talking about?
I want to tell you that that
Yeah.
movie I haven't seen it yet, but like a middle-aged dude told me about it,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to like get him. I'm trying to hook him up with my like ex, because it's more age appropriate that they're together. And babe, I just wanted to tell you that I love Norm Macdonald. Because it's just everything he does is incredible. Like the guy doesn't miss,
Yeah.
So that's to answer that question.
Yeah, I think his bit about shallow grave.
Yeah,
That is one
Janice.
of the fun. Janice. If you haven't listened to that, I forget what album that's off of, but it's definitely worth a
the cheese
listen.
Sam, I'm just being coy. Yeah, it's so that's the thing is I have gotten more obsessed with doing impressions because that's what I realized. This isn't like you're talking about influences, so this does apply. Because I'm super bad about everybody that I like copying their mannerisms. I got through the pandemic, went through a terrible phase where I was just, hey, fatty, Mark Normand here. Like,
Oh, God, don't get me started.
It was so bad. So bad, and I was doing all of his moves.
I'm not gonna lie, that annoys the shit out of me.
people-
Just stop, Mark.
Yeah, but you know what's worse?
Talk like a normal fucking person.
You know what's worse than Mark Normand is someone doing Mark Normand bad. Their whole act is just a rip off of him. Somebody didn't book me in Vancouver, Washington, because they're like, I'm not gonna book you because last time you were here, you just ripped off Mark Normand's whole act. And I was like, well, I wrote my own jokes. but yeah.
What are you talking about?
Sounded too much like him, comedy, And I got to meet him at Skyline Comedy Club, and I did a guest spot for him, and he's so cool. Said the N-word so many times.
That's how we judge
Those shouldn't
coolness, I
associate.
guess.
Cool?
I shouldn't
Is that
have
it?
shared. But he was cool guy. And my buddy DJ Sandu, he was featuring. We all got to hang out together, and he was a nice dude. And I was just like, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been trying to I emulate you too much. And he's like, oh, I do the same thing with Norm. Ugh. And I was like, so relatable. I love it. So.
Oh, man.
So that's my life.
We all fall into that, though. It's just one of those unconscious things that, like, at one time or another, you've done a Jeselnik. Like, when I started, I thought I was, like, Mitch Hedberg. God,
Yes.
that's not who I am as a person.
Talking about one-liners.
Yeah.
I've seen people do Hannibal Buress, and it's so fucking annoying. Let him be himself.
Right.
You want some allergies, man? I don't know what he's kind of just tilts his head back. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a terrible. I'm just doing this off the noggin. So
if you were to give a comic advice as far as like joke writing, let's go back to the one-liner topic. When it comes to writing one-liners, and one-liners are all about the misdirect. What sort of advice would you give?
I wish I had an answer. Okay,
He's
well,
not a scientist, David.
yeah, well, I should also be better at answering the thing that I do all the time and think about obsessively 24/7. So, I'd have to say, well, here's the thing: is if I was going to give you somebody, word economy is the first thing. Is always think of your joke, whatever you think is funny, and then be like, okay, where's the actual punchline, and how do I say this in as few words as possible? How do I get there the most linearly? But then now I'm like, oh, but the best thing to do is to have a personality and make all your jokes more conversational. So it's like I'm confused sexually, and I don't know what I'm doing with my life. I'm 25 and I don't know what's right. Like I'm just lost. And,
I like his humility.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so I'm trying. Here's the thing: is this isn't therapy. I shouldn't be opening up like this. I should be answering joke writing questions.
Open up.
But that's the thing: is if jokes are your life, then the answers to your questions are also in my problems. And so, yeah, just write every day.
You know,
That's it.
the thing you say about
Full
word
circle.
economy, he's right though. It's like you have to balance between, do you want to be more conversational and connect a little bit better, or do you want to really get to the funny part very quickly, and that's very efficient and it works. It's got more potency to it.
It's true.
So it's kind of like, you know, you can do both. I think you just have to be, you have to figure it out.
Yeah,
and get
experiment
it just right.
with it and
Yeah.
find that sweet spot.
Well, jokes are, you can get people to trust you with good jokes. So that's why, like, I'll open with a quick 1-2 punch, you know, joke. But it's like, I want also people to get to know me. But I can't, like the last comic, she was talking about how she's able to, you know, be this amazing person that can just, I can just go on stage and I can think of stuff and think of funny things, and I have to write everything down. I had no personality when I started. Well, because 20-year-olds don't have anything. So I was just a blank slate, being all like, is this funny, annoying my roommates, you know? And eventually you get somewhere where you're like, I kind of have a soul, I guess. And
You're very introspective, but that's good.
I don't know.
This is the thing.
He
Are
doesn't
you
think so.
So how long have you been doing comedy?
I need to stop, is what the real... anyway, but 7, 8 years.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, at some point.
Yeah, I'm definitely like the greenest person, or not. Actually, that would be real. That's more of a bummer if I've been doing it the longest and I'm the least successful.
And I was gonna say, like, at some point, you can get to a point where you're a little bit more. I just started in the last year or two, like, getting comfortable just saying whatever I want and like not worrying about a set list so much.
Mm-hmm.
You have that, but like it's fun to just kind of.
I mean, I'm such a neurotic douchebag that I wrote down things
Oh,
for
no,
this
that's fine.
the pot, and I can't even read them because they're on the floor. So it's like that's not even. But I should be, if I would answer these questions better if I looked at notes, which is stupid.
Yeah, you got to be in the moment, man.
It's refreshing to see
know.
someone who's not a fucking egotistical maniac, because you see so many of these people in comedy that it's just like, man, God bless you.
Well, maybe I should be. Maybe that was
No,
that was
don't
working.
do it.
That works.
And
is when
Steve's
you're
been seeing it since
having a giant
2012.
ego.
Yeah, how long have you been doing, Steve?
Oh, yeah.
Well, if it helps, I have a huge dick. So
All right. Alex Avery has a huge dick.
Save the ego for that one statement. You're good.
I have. I wrote a joke today where this is a one-liner. I said it's hard for me to pay attention because I have ADHD. A huge dick.
All right.
I like
Give
it.
it up for Alex Avery. Alex, where can we find you on social media?
Don't. Okay. Alex, you can find me at Alex Savory Jokes, and that's just that's my Twitter and my Instagram, or YouTube if you want. You 14 people. How many? I can't count. So.
We're really it's gonna hit the algorithm in just the right way.
But yeah, if you were like, hey, I want to see this guy be funny, look online. That's where I put that stuff. So, all right, thank you.
Alex Avery, everybody.
Our guests so far have been awesome. I like our guests.
Us, not so much.
And thanks for being here, all of you.
Yeah. Yeah, he's looking in the window. He's like, good, he's done.
We thought we'd have 0 people. This is a lot of people considering what we were expecting, so
Right.
I'm very happy.
Right. Connor, do you want to I mean, there's people. Do you want to do your just like that bit? Fuck yeah! All right. Let's
do it.
Let's do that. Give it up for Connor Meade, everybody.
Thank you, Connor.
Thank you.
I'm struggling over here technically.
Oh yeah, is it hard to play? Also, I know my video fucking sucks. You can barely hear it. And this is way better than ever having to hear my own voice
You're
being
coming
echoed
in
through
loud and
anything.
clear right now. I love it.
All right, hell yeah. Hi, I'm Connor. That is my real name. The right person is up here. My full name is actually Connor Mackenzie Meade, and I don't know if you noticed yet, but I'm not an Irish man. I don't know. My parents were so upset that they didn't have another son. I'm pretty sure they just made sure I was gay. You know, as long as my kid eats pussy, that's all I care about, right? But I'm still bi, so you know, I kind of still disappointed him in the end. But yeah, and I'll talk more about that later. But more about this me being a human. But yeah, not an Irish man, but I am an alcoholic. give it up for anyone drinking tonight. No, everyone's here sober, I'm pretty sure. All 4 of you. But I'm trying to drink less, trying to be healthy, but I have this horrible oral fixation, which is not as sexy as it sounds. It basically means if I'm not eating, drinking, smoking, or talking shit, I don't know what to do with my mouth. I just end up biting all of my nails off. Or I'll be like biting my lip all the time. And I'll make eye contact with people while biting my lip and they think I'm flirting. Until I just rip off a piece of skin and eat it. It's not cute. Nobody likes that. So, as you can see by my haircut, I am bisexual. I was bi-curious for years, for most of my life. It took me years to get bi-serious about it. Just a really long time, just buckle down and knuckle up. Fuck, I fucked it up! Whatever. This year is a fucking strap in and strap on. I don't know what I was so afraid of. Well, there's a couple things. First, I was afraid that I was gonna come out the closet like, hello, ladies! And they're gonna be like, we don't wanna fuck you either. The second thing is I was afraid that fingering another woman was gonna kind of be like, I don't know, driving in England. Do we get it? Super familiar, but backwards. I'm gonna go in there, make a wrong turn. I'm gonna get caught in the clit like a British roundabout scene. Like, how do I get out of here? I don't know. That wasn't a British accent either. That's shit.
I'll take it. Make some noise for Connor Meade, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Hell yeah. I love that bit. It's so funny. The British driving joke. You guys really missed out on that one. It's a real thinker, for sure.
Yeah.
I love it. So that bit, first of all, the really long time to get bi-serious about it. Well, first of all, let's talk about like how did the bit come about?
I was eating pussy one night. I just
taking notes.
Right. I was just like, all right, this would be nice. I just had to stop everything. No, I don't know. I growing up, I always was bi, but was so afraid of it because I was Christian household and with someone named Connor, everyone was expecting me to be a lesbian. So my whole childhood, I was like, no, I like boys. I don't like boobs. That's gross. I don't know. So I always had that in my head. And then when I was older and realized I do like girls, but I'm just afraid of them now. I felt like I was a 12-year-old boy, just coming into being horny again. With a whole new thing. And then, I don't know, I guess started comedy and that was the first joke I wrote because that was just something that was always in my head that I always thought about. Because, sexuality, gender, all that stuff's hard. I don't know, it's a whole spectrum and it's hard to figure out.
But it's super real and I mean, the first jokes that I wrote were awful. They were not me. They were not authentic.
Right.
And I think, that's where it has to start. It has to start from that, what's true to me right now? What's real to me right now?
Right, yeah. And I also, Googled it, too. Because I was bi-serious, it has to be a thing. And then all I found was, bi-furious. I'm like, well, that's different. It's not the same thing.
That's what they're calling the next Fast and the Furious movie. So you had a couple instances of wordplay. I know Steve's a fan of wordplay. Knuckle up or buckle down and knuckle up.
Yeah.
Strap in, strap on. Do you have other ones that you've used in the bit?
A lot of times I do the wordplay pun stuff and the crowd just does not like it. Yeah. Sometimes I don't even do that stuff just because they're like, no.
It sucks when you don't know if it's going to get groans or an applause break.
Right, yeah.
And that's the worst.
It goes either way.
Yeah.
If they don't laugh at the bi-serious, even right off that one, they're not even a groan, just don't go further. I'm all right, I'll just go on with the bit, I guess.
The opposite way on the road, in Britain. That's a good bit. Did that come later, or was that did you write it all together?
The bi-serious thing I wrote first, and then the bi-serious part, and then the fingering part was all one together. And then I added the little the buckle down, knuckle up, and then the British roundabout. And there's even more that I go into, about my mom hearing about the joke, and then she tells me she had a threesome once, and it was a whole weird conversation that I never wish I had. Yeah.
Was the threesome with my brother?
I wish.
My brother's out there slaying it, dude. Slaying it.
Do you have something that you want to share about your brother?
No, she said Josh earlier that she, remember? I forget.
Yeah. I feel like you got something you want to get off your chest,
It's
man.
a callback.
Yeah.
And then you play up the fear side of things, like why was I bi-curious and I didn't commit to it for so long?
Right, yeah.
Finding the humor in that, like when did you find the funny in that?
I don't know, it's like how like silly it was, I
Yeah.
guess. I don't know, it's just like a dumb thing to be afraid of, like, I'm gonna be probably fine at fingering people. I don't like I'm not gonna be like, "Hurrah!" Like I'm not a man, so I'm gonna kind of get it.
That's I think all of us at some point we're like, you know what? I'm gonna settle for what I got right now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna learn any new skills.
Yeah. I know the basics. It can't be that hard.
If someone who is bi-curious right now or not sure about their sexuality, and they're a comic and they want to find the funny in it, what sort of advice would you give them? So like,
Let's be gay, dude. Like people love gay right now. Gay's so in. Like let's fucking do it. I'm not even actually bi. This is all a big lie. I'm straight as hell, but no, I don't know. It is hard. Like I don't know, especially I don't know like what your family background is. If it's hard to talk about. But usually, like, at least, I don't know, start working out and talking it out as much as you can. Like, it was weird, like, my mom still, like, thinks I'm lying. My dad just doesn't know, or just ignores it. But I don't know, yeah, it can be hard just trying to find the funny and stuff like that, because it can be, like, a super serious thing. But I guess I don't know. I don't know how to answer that even. Does this kind of happen? That's like how I handled all situations when they're hard. It's like, oh, I can find it funny in some way, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess.
Commit to it.
Right, yeah,
That's
just go into it.
That's what it's
Do
about.
gay shit and crime.
Commit to the bit. Commit to the gay shit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I think as far as like fear, like that's something we resist. Like we're constantly discovering ourselves in new ways. Like
Right.
you have to be a human being. Turning that fear into comedy, though, like that's like a skill that I feel like everybody should have, beyond being a comic,
Right.
too. Like being able to find the funny in your fears. Have you, like, was there a moment before you became a comic where you were like, where you leaned into kind of the things that you were like scared of?
I mean, like, I guess always, like, the fact that I started stand-up in general, that was really scary. I don't know, I've done crime before, that was pretty scary. Not real crime. Just like stole stuff. It's not a big deal. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I guess I never. I don't know. You're making me think about this joke so much harder. When I literally just like kind of was half asleep and woke up like, by serious, and like wrote it down.
Yeah. See, this is what happens in every episode. I'm like, I've been listening to your joke on repeat for days.
Right. Like I wasn't even really that scared, more just nervous, you know?
Yeah.
It's because I'm like, what if I suck at this? And that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I guess, ask what's the question again?
I mean, it's not like necessarily a primal fear. Like even just nerves. That's
just
like
a nerve. Like I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
This might be bad. But that's just, I guess, everything. I've always like I don't know. I've always just kind of been like I'm gonna do it, and I'm just gonna feel nervous, but I'll just do it anyway. Which I don't know. That's why I do stand up. I did singing stuff. I don't know.
Do you get nervous before you get on stage, though?
Oh, it depends. If there's like something like industry people, which I've done like one time, or like something that's going to be recorded like this, that could like be seen again or listened to again. That's like really the real time I get nervous. But if it's like in front of like less people, like this is more nerve-wracking than like 500 people, I think.
The prying eyes of fellow comedians.
Right.
Is everyone here? Does everyone here do comedy? Clap. Okay, you guys are just like, what did we walk into? What is happening on stage right now? He's all right, but you're obviously.
We're not like talking shit. I had to like translate everything because my dad, his French isn't translated.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a wrinkle that I feel like comics pay attention for the next show. Is there anything else?
Fuck yeah. Did he get that? You understand that?
She said frick yeah to her dad, though.
All right. Is there where can we find you on social media, Connor?
I don't get any other questions. It's like, why are you scared? What are you so afraid of, bitch? No, I'm kidding.
Lean into it.
Right. Face your fears. Touch this fire. I don't know. You can find me. This is a cheesy ass fucking social media name, but it works. It's a Connor Meade On Twitter and Instagram, it's a CONNORMEADIAN, because my name's Connor Meade. I don't know, stupid, another play on word, dumb shit. I call it dumb shit 'cause that's my name. But
What's your podcast?
oh yeah, I also have a podcast called two other comedians, Johanna Madronda and Carolyn Paul. It's called Each Other's Mothers. It's we basically just kind of talk shit and like we're like each other's chosen family and talk about serious stuff or funny shit or whatever. It's just girls chatting, you know.
All right, check it out. Give it up for Connor Meade, everybody.
Hey.
Connor Meade, everybody.
You can see her at the 6th City Comedy Festival.
She can be seen here now.
All right, Steve, that was like a lightning round. I'm so used to like diving deeper. I had like, I had more questions, but I was like, I don't want to commit to that because we got the light.
Yeah.
You know that moment when you're on stage and you're like, I have this closing bit that I want to do, but I got lit and my closing bit's 5 minutes, but if I skip the first 2 minutes, then people aren't going to get it, and then I'm just panicking, and I don't take a breath into the microphone, and everybody knows that I'm nervous, and I'm just going and going, yeah. So that kind of, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Steve, anything else you want to add?
No. I'm sure everybody's dying to see actual stand-up. Besides what she did. I forgot she did a set. I didn't want to,
Yeah.
I just mean like, I'm talking about a podcast. We're not even a podcast where we're like, I'm going to be on the whole time.
Yeah.
It's literally just a discussion. So it's like, yeah. But thanks for being here, everyone. We appreciate it. Even though you're all like, just waiting for the next.
Yeah. Well, we've got over 90 episodes now. It's You Can't Laugh at That at You Can't Laugh Pod.
Yeah, we did. We interviewed a ton of people from like late night, a lot of stuff, very valuable advice for comedy, writing, and things like that, performing. So it's definitely a good resource. So check it out.
Yeah, for sure. I learn something every single episode, and you can too. Let's close it out because even though we had 3 people, and in a 1 hour we proved that between white women and one-liners and being bi-curious, what's that, Steve?
You can laugh at that.
You can laugh at that. Thanks, everybody.
And podcast.
You can't laugh at that.